Mr. Vinegar and the Curse, or probably more correctly, Mr. Vinegar and the Curse, as the character does correct somebody's pronunciation of his surname at one point, is a short film from 2008. It's written and directed by Peter Elbling, and it stars Elbling as Mr. Vinegar. We also have, well, the reason that I watched this is because of the wonderful Shelley Long, and she's in it for 20 seconds, but 20 very good seconds. And it is a bit of a Cheers reunion because we have Shelley Long and we also have Paul Willson, who was in many, many Cheers episodes. And Peter Elbling was also in an episode of Cheers, though not when Shelley Long was in it. He was in a season 6 episode. Shelley Long was in seasons 1 to 5. And that made me quite happy. And this is actually the last Shelley Long film that I have to watch. I have a few cameo appearances in TV shows to check out, but this is the last of all of her films, which is kind of devastating. So I really, really treasured those 20 seconds. And I'll talk a little bit about what you can expect from this. In general, I'd say it's worth checking out. I think it's the second Mr. Vinegar film. I think there is another one, Mr. Vinegar and the Crossword, if I remember. I didn't write it down, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And yes, it is. I've just checked. So I haven't seen that. I don't know if that would impact my viewing of this, but in general, I didn't mind it. I didn't find it that funny, but I think it could be a good foundation for a feature film. I think the character of Mr. Vinegar is really interesting. I also really liked Paul Wilson's character. He's called the Boring Man, but I actually found him to be really delightful. And basically, Mr. Vinegar is going about his day. He's heading to a dental appointment, and terrible things start to happen, accidents and potential injuries, and then he gets stuck somewhere. That's the scene where we have Shelley Long, and the curse, I guess, is all of these bad things happening to himself, to other characters, over the course of about 15 minutes. And I guess they're slightly funny things, but for me the comedy came from Paul Wilson's character. I really, really loved his character. But Mr. Vinegar, I think, is quite an interesting character, and I don't want to say too much. Obviously, it's about 15 minutes. I don't want to give away too much of the information, but I think he has the potential to be a feature-length protagonist. I think that a lot of things happen based purely on this short around about him, and that's where the comedy comes from. It's just things happen around him, some things happen to him, and I think there's a lot of potential there for the character. I have no idea if Peter Elbling has any intention of doing anything more with the character. Maybe something else has happened with the character, but under a different title. I'm not sure. If anybody knows, please feel free to let me know. But I guess the point there is that the narrative itself I didn't think was necessarily laugh out loud funny, but I enjoyed getting to know the characters, most specifically Mr. Vinegar and also the Boring Man. The other characters were fine, decent performances. Shelley Long's character is called Miss Persnickety, and 20 seconds of Shelley Long, and I'll take that. Unfortunately, Shelley Long's name was misspelled in the credits, which is unfortunate, but not a big deal, I guess. But other than that, I don't want to say anything else. I don't want to give it away. If you do decide to watch it, I thought Mr. Vinegar and the Curse it feels like an introduction. It feels like an introduction to the character. Look at the chaos that can happen around him. The character himself seems based purely on this again, seems like he could get into a lot of unfortunate situations, and the world isn't necessarily very kind to him when he is at the focus. That's kind of the impression I'm getting here. And if it sounds like something that might appeal to you, if you just want to check it out and see what it's like, then I'd say give it a go. If you're a Shelley Long fan, you'll have 20 delightful seconds. And as I said, Paul Wilson was just brilliant. I really, really liked his character. And yeah, as a Cheers addict, Cheers worshipper, whatever you want to call it, the Cheers aspect in this definitely was not lost on me. And it's not too bad. If you have 15 minutes to spare, check it out. I might check out Mr. Vinegar and the crossword and see what that's all about. I don't know if it's available, but I'll have a look. But based purely on Mr. Vinegar and the Curse, as I said, I feel like there's a lot of potential with this character. I feel like there are a lot of things that could happen with this character, a lot of different storylines. Definitely a fascinating character, a character about whom I want to know more. And I'd like to get to know the Boring Man too, because he was definitely not boring in terms of being entertaining. And Miss Persnickety, the 20 seconds that we got of her were beautiful as well. Definitely check it out if it sounds like something you're interested in. I thought it was not too bad with some pretty interesting characters.